Hi, Todd Martin here. One of my members asked for a video on how to do salsa turns. So today I'm going to work on a few different salsa turns, and as usual I do like to focus on the mechanics, how we use the core to perform any type of movement so we can perform those movements really effectively and consciously. So by using the analysis of the core, we perhaps can help if you're having a little bit of a stumbling block on a couple different salsa turns, understanding exactly what you're supposed to do to make it happen correctly. So that might help you, and I hope this helps the member who asked for this video. So let's get started. Remember to click the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, please click that join button and become a member so you can support this channel, and also you're going to get extra perks. This video was requested by one of my members, and you as a member will have top priority on me making videos at your request. So please join as a member and support the channel. The first turn I'm going to do is a walk around to the left, or counterclockwise, from the salsa basic, turning backwards. So I'm going to start with the salsa basic, and then I'm going to open and turn back to square, to my partner. Salsa basic, and then I'm going to open back, begin to turn, complete the turn, close. And we're always going to close with my feet square ahead to my partner. Salsa basic. I'm going to do two salsa basics here. And then from the forward step, after I change weight, I'm going to execute the first part of the turn here, coming back on my right leg. So I'm going to change weight to my left leg, and instead of shifting back to close, I'm going to change weight to my left leg and then begin to turn here. So you're going to see my right foot begin to turn out like that to begin the turn. Salsa basic. Turn here. So I've already got almost a 45-degree turn with my right foot to begin. Now what I'm going to do is open to the side, and now I'm facing basically 90 degrees to my partner. And then now the largest part of the turn is going to occur here, where I'm going to step around with my right leg. Now I'm facing the next wall, side wall, change weight. When I change weight, my forward foot is now going to be facing straight forward, and then I'm going to close. So I'm always coming back to the same position. Coming back to the same position requires using the same movements of the core. Salsa basic. From the forward motion, I'm changing my weight to my left leg, so now I have my root on my left leg. I'm turning forward with the left side of my upper core. So that's the end of the first part of the salsa basic when I go forward. I could shift back and just continue going, but I'm just going to stop in this position, and this is where I'm going to begin the pivot. I'm going to retreat from this motion by turning everything towards my left leg. And you're going to get this feeling of a turn. And I'm not going to be pushing myself back. I'm going to be sinking back by flexing my left hip. So everything's just going to sink back to start the turn. Then I'm going to continue turning by taking my upper torso, which is already turning to the left, right there. I'm going to let it continue turning to the left, and as I change weight to the right leg and free up my left leg, I'm going to let the left leg begin to swing around. So from the salsa forward, retreat back. My weight here is on the left leg. Now I'm going to shift the weight using my lower abs to the right leg and continue turning with the upper part of the core on the right, turning counterclockwise. Now let's look at the third step in the turn, and we're going to go from the retreat back, open the left foot up, and then now I'm going to execute the walk around with a twisting action of the core. So I'm going to do a full twist of the chest, turning forward on the right using the abdominal muscles and turning backwards with my upper back muscles on the left to create a full walk around turn with the right foot. So I weighted on my left foot, and I'm going to twist the upper part of the core to walk around with the right foot. Retreat, change weight, continuing the turn, walk around, and then now I'm going to change back for the fourth step in the turn. I'm going to change weight to my right leg, continuing the counterclockwise turn with the upper part of the core, facing my left foot forward, and then I'm going to right myself back to a forward position by turning my upper part of the core forward on the left and changing the root to the left. So the lower abs are now turning to the left, and that squares my feet back up together, and I'm ready to begin the salsa basic again. Change weight to the left, retreat back, weights on the left, change your weight to your right as you continue turning, change your weight to your left as you twist and walk around. Now change your weight to your right while you continue turning, and then straighten back up as you change weight to the left leg, and now you're back to your salsa basic position. Demonstration. You're always going to end up back in the same place if you use your core correctly. Change weight to the left, retreat, still keeping the weight on the left. Now change weight to the right as you open the left, walk around by changing weight to the left and twisting the upper part of the core. Now change weight to the right as you continue turning, and then close back up to the forward position and back to the salsa basic. So that's turn number one. Now, turn number two, we're going to turn in a clockwise fashion, coming from the salsa basic, stepping forward, and I'm going to turn back, and close my feet. So this is going to be a clockwise turn from the forward salsa basic. We're going to do our forward, back, begin the turn back to the back wall, and then close. Again, closing with the feet facing straight forward. So let's look at how we do this turn using the core. Again, we're starting with our salsa basic. I'm going to change my weight to my right leg, and then instead of doing a normal salsa basic, in a normal salsa basic, what I'm using is my free leg hip to move the body forward. So I'm not driving off of my standing leg hip. I am letting myself move forward by rotating the core on the right and lifting my left leg up with the hip. That is going to create the normal forward part of the salsa step. I'm stepping by lifting this left leg forward as I turn forward on the right. When I'm going to execute the turn in a clockwise fashion, what I'm going to do, instead of using my left leg to lift forward, I'm going to drive that step off of my right hip by pushing forward with the right hip from this closed position here. I'm going to use my right hip to extend, pushing forward I'm going to continue turning forward on my right as I do this, push into the ground, and then now I'm going to use my left sort of upper core to turn the body around. I'm staying rooted on my right leg the whole time, but even though my center of gravity is over my left leg. And then now I'm going to shift back and then turn around. Let's look at this one step at a time. From the salsa, forward and back, change weight, push using your right hip, use your upper torso on the left to turn the body around while continuing to be rooted on the right. Push back, twist, turn. Push, use your upper core to turn your body around. Now you're going to extend your left hip to push yourself back, but I'm continuing to keep the root on my right leg at this time. I've never changed the root to the left leg. So now I'm turning clockwise with my upper torso, also turning clockwise with my lower torso. And I'm pushing, extending off of my left hip. Now what I'm going to do is lift my left hip by flexing it forward, and I'm going to use my upper back muscles on the right to help pull the body around to finish the turn. Push, turn, push back, twist. That's it for turn number 2. For turn number 3, we're going to do a similar turn towards the back wall, but instead of twisting back to the forward position, I'm going to turn again in the opposite direction to bring myself back. Clockwise turn, salsa forward, counterclockwise turn, salsa back. So we're doing the same push, turn, push back, and then flex my left hip so I can do a normal salsa forward. Now I'm going to reverse this by changing weight to the left, pushing, turning, push back, and then I'm going to close. One thing to be aware of when you're doing any pivots is that you don't have full weight on the whole foot. So you don't want to have weight on the ball and the heel pushing down into the ground as you try to pivot. Otherwise, you might twist your knee. So generally, in most of the steps, we're going to have our weight fully on the opposite leg as we step. So if I'm going to turn my left foot out, all of my weight's on my right foot. And as I walk around, all of my weight's on my left foot. And as I walk around again, all of my weight's on my right foot. And as I walk around, all of my weight's on the left foot. That's the easiest type of turn. There are some turns that we're going to see here where your weight is on the leg as we swing around or pivot around. And in those cases, you want to make sure that the weight is going to be on the ball of your foot as you're turning and not full footed. So I don't want to try a turn like this with my whole foot grinding into the ground, because you could twist your knee, and that is going to be painful and can cause injury. So for full twisting turns rather than the walk around, as I pivot, I'm pivoting on the ball of the foot.